Here's John and Graham. We're on top of the Glyder, and if I come to John to explain why we're here.
We're here because we're going to, we have been measuring Glyder Fawr. Glyder Fawr is on the maps at 999 metres, and it's possible that it could be, with a ±3 error in the measurements on the OS maps, could be 1,000 metre. So that's the excitement of the day.
Now, if I come over to Graham, we're actually away from the equipment at the moment, aren't we, Graham?
Yeah, we are, and I'm trying to keep a close eye on it because there's some people just arrived.
And the reason why we're here, this is very sheltered. We've had quite a brisk...
Nice and toasty here.
It's quite good, isn't it? We've had quite a brisk breeze, haven't we?
Yes, it's quite cool.
Yeah, so because of the audio, and it gets disrupted because of the breeze, we found shelter. How long have we been taking data for, Graham, about?
I think now it's about 3 hours 40 minutes. So we've got a good chunk.
And of course, minimum for OS 2 hours.
Yeah.
So why that length of time so far?
Well, mainly because you've been filming people.
There we go then. There's no comeback for that one. Well, at this rate, if I when we were coming over here, Graham was saying, make sure it's not 10 minutes, and I said no, about 5, and he goes, well, about 30 seconds. So, but at this rate, there's a possibility of getting 4 hours, isn't there?
Yeah, by the time we get back over there and dismantle it, I think we'll be up to very nearly the 4 hours.
Yeah,
enough anyway.
Which will be excellent, I think, for this particular measurement.
Yeah. Now, if I come to John, could you just describe, John, the setting up of the equipment when we arrived and what we did?
Well, as you see around this whole area, it's just full of little rocky tors and rocky excrescences. And when we first arrived, there were 2 possible rocky excrescences vying for the summit, and we quickly checked with an apnea level, and in fact it was fairly obvious that the second one was about 1.5 metres lower than the main summit area. So we moved to the main summit rocks, and there are a couple of what I call rock spikes, only about 1 metre apart, and so we checked across there, and in fact they only differ in height by about 2 millimetres, so quite insignificant. So on the appropriate higher one, we've, as we did in Trefan, we've strapped the antenna to the rock, got it vertical, padded it, and then adjusted the height of it so it's exactly the same height as the top, connected it all up and started collecting the data. And so it's the same as we did in Trefan, really.
I think the experience on Trefan actually helped enormously today, because it meant we could set things up very quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
If we hadn't have done that on Trefan, we'd have been scratching our heads a bit.
It's a good tested simple. It's simple. It's a good tested system that works very well, isn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. The only thing is, as you mentioned when we started the interview off, that you have to keep your eye on other people coming up to the summit, because they can't really get close to the antenna, can they?
And it's been such a nice day today. We've had quite a few people, but they've been very good. They've generally kept away, or certainly kept their heads down, so that they've not interfered with the signal.
It's interesting to know that how many people we've spoken to were cognizant of our previous measurements and were talking about them, wanted to know. So quite a lot of interest. Probably more interest than we've had on any hill.
The only problem with that, though, John, that they all keep on calling me and Graham John Barnard.
That's all right. We're all John Barnard.
There's three of them.
What is it about me?
I'm going to change my name by default to John Barnard.
All be John Barnard. Yeah.
But when we were talking about the summit tours, John, when you're describing them, it's the one closest to Glyder Fawr, which is the higher of the 2 summit tours, isn't it?
Yes, it is slightly closer.
Yeah.
Although it's not it's probably hang on, let's look at the direction. It's the northerly one.
Yeah.
And the 2,
And that's higher by how much?
1.5 metres.
Which is, I find that quite amazing.
I didn't look at it.
No.
They're not very close, actually, but they're not.
Yeah. I mean, I measured this a couple of years ago with an apnea, just checking which was the higher. And Simon Edwards has also done it previously, and he's agreed. And today's, again, the measurements were consistent with those previous ones, so that was good.
And on the highest tour, the 2, they're almost like elongated spikes, aren't they? That are very close together. And I think, was it the one that is closest to a garn? It's about 2 mil higher?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so that's the very highest point of Glyder Fawr. Well, Any other sort of comments?
I think it's been a cracking day,
Yeah.
Moon. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The views have been absolutely superb. The weather has been cracking, and the company as well has been very good. Very interesting people
Yeah.
to talk to.
Well, you mentioned the company, Graham, and it has been quite an interesting day because of the people involved with us today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who else has been present?
Well, we've had Kerry from TGO. We've had Kate and Pete from the 1,000 metre challenge. And Stephen has been taking a few stills because his camera's in Borneo. And between us all, I think there's been some very good discussion, and that with all the people that have come up as well and asked questions. As John was saying, I think it's been a very good 4 hours. You just passed very quickly.
So, as far as the data is concerned, what will happen to it now?
Take it back home. Graham's got the dongle, so he will de-dongle it tonight and tell us what the result
And I
is.
shall hold a quiz as to what the height might be.
It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
I think
Yeah, I
it's
think it's going to
interesting.
be close actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the raw data we're getting on the GPS at the moment for the 4 hours, or near as damn 4 hours that we've been collecting, is all reading between about 102 and 105 metres. And it's not often we've seen, only one other occasion I can remember when we've surveyed, the machine has read high, it's always read lower. So
And
it's interesting.
And of course, that 1,002 and 1,005 metres.
Yeah. It's
Although
although
it,
interesting.
yeah, although it doesn't mean a thing
Doesn't mean
really,
anything really, but it's
does make you
evidence.
wonder.
It's swinging it from 50-50 to 70-30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you also found something on one of the summit rocks, didn't you, up there? Was it a
It looks
bolt?
like a little bolt, an RS bolt.
Yeah.
That's been drilled in there. But it doesn't seem to relate to anything. It's not relating to the highest point. It's about 1.5 metres below probably the highest point.
Something
So,
that may be quite good before we do go is to take a measurement with the staff.
There might have been some sort of I don't know, transmitter tower or something portable that somebody did some time ago on the summit.
Yeah.
We have to look at the history of it.
We can have a quick look at the stuff. It's about 1.5 metres lower, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Than the summit.
Well, many thanks for your time, and it's time to
Time to go
almost
home.
almost time to switch it off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, cheers
Yeah.
both.
Cheers then.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Millie.